What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Amazing Race All-Star Season 24 Episode 1 recap. Wow, that was a mouthful. The episode opens up with the UCLA Bruins marching band playing the Amazing Race theme song and the introduction of each team. I'm not going to go through the teams again as I did in my previous episode, so if you want to know what teams are in Season 24, make sure to check out my last video, which you can click right here. So, if you've seen some of the commercials, you would have heard that someone, or a team, won't be making it to the starting line. Unfortunately, it wasn't Jessica and John, but sadly it was Bopper. As they showed the race doctor, Phil, Mark and Bopper talking about Bopper's health, I couldn't help but feel extremely sad. The doctor said he doesn't think Bopper is healthy enough to race around the world. It's extremely sad we won't be laughing along Bopper every Sunday, but the race must go on. And Bopper's replacement is the highly energetic and cute Mallory. The first country they're heading to is China, but before they head to the airport, teams first have to find a specific Chinese symbol on a hat of one of the band members. They then get in a Ford Fusion Hybrid, which they need to charge when they get to the airport, and then they can head to Guangzhou. I think I pronounced that correctly. Teams start arriving at the airport. Leo and Jamal are the first, and of course, the jokesters that they are, Leo asks to get upgraded to first class, and he obviously gets denied. Mallory decided to make a joke to make Mark squirm a little, saying she forgot the passports. Haha, Mallory. There are 2 flights to Guangzhou. The Afghanimals, Dave and Connor, the Cowboys, and the Twinnies are on the first flight, with the rest of the teams obviously on the second flight. Once teams arrive in Guangzhou, teams then have to travel by taxi or metro to the bridal dress district. There are hundreds of dress shops, but only 3 stores have their clues, and each store has limited clues. Jet and Cord decide to take the metro, which seems to be the best idea, but the other teams on the first flight decided to take the taxis. While all the teams are running around asking for directions, Jet and Cord are the first team to find the next clue. They now head to the Canton Tower, which is the tallest tower in China and home to the world's highest Ferris wheel. Teams will find their next clue in one of the bubbles on the Ferris wheel. The second flight arrives and annoying Rachel begins. Look, I'm a huge Big Brother fan, and I'm one of the few that like Brennan and Rachel. But when they're waiting for the train to come by and she's yelling, "Train close! Train close!" well, I'm pretty sure my ears were bleeding. To make it worse, she started naming every team that makes it on the train. Oh, and then she says, "Shut that door! Shut that door!" and cheering ensues. The 3 teams that didn't make it on the loud, annoying train were John and Jessica, the country singers, and the YouTubers. Dave and Connor are the second team to find the next clue, followed by Brenchel, Margie and Luke, Mark and Mallory, and Flight Time and Big Easy. The Twinnies and the Afghanimals continue to walk by the correct shops, but they never clue in as they have someone giving them directions, and she's not really helpful. Jet and Cord get to the tower and enter one of the bubbles. When the door in the bubble closes, there's a clue on the bottom of the door. Some of the clues say try again, and if you're the unlucky one to get it, you have to wait a long time for the bubble to go around the tower before getting in another bubble. This could easily be a game changer. The YouTubers, Afghanimals, Twinnies, and country singers think they found the right store. So they start looking in between wedding dresses, and some dresses are even being dropped on the floor. I mean, come on. These dresses are white, people. Get your dirty paws off of them. Luckily for the Afghanimals, the country singers decided to take the Twinnies with them. So as soon as that happens, guess what? The Afghanimals found the right store. Jet and Cord get in the second bubble, and they find out they need to head to the stadium on the river below them. For their entertainment, they look at Brenchel looking everywhere for the clue, which they find after 5 minutes of looking around. Twinnies and country singers continue to struggle, finding a bridal store that has their next clue, but then they finally found one. This made me laugh. Mark calls the Afghanimals the Afghanistans, which, yeah, I thought was pretty funny. The YouTubers, Mark and Mallory, are still having trouble at the tower, but Dave and Connor finally got it. Jet and Cord get to the stadium first, which was used during the 2010 Asian Games. They reach a roadblock where one teammate travels 300 feet to the top of the stadium tower and basically has to spin 5 times. Brenchel get there second, and as Cord is heading back down, Brennan is heading up. Jet and Cord are now off to the pit stop, which they have absolutely no trouble finding. They won an express pass for themselves and for another team, which they have to give by the end of the 5th leg. I'm pretty sure they won some sort of trip, but I guess there wasn't enough time in the episode, so they had to edit it out. But I'm pretty sure they won a trip of some sorts. Brennan and Rachel finished second. Dave and Connor finished third, with Margie and Luke finishing fourth. Leo was having some fun in the air as he kept twirling even when he was coming back down. I think they counted down to about 8 or 9. They finished fifth. The YouTubers and Twinnies are the only teams left at the tower. The Twinnies can't make a decision, what else is new, on which bubble to choose, but they finally decide on one, and they end up getting the correct one. It's just the YouTubers are already on their way to the next task. Flight Time and Mallory are heading up at the same time and have no troubles completing the task. Mark and Mallory finish 6th, with Flight Time and Big Easy right behind them finishing 7th. Finishing in 8th place is Jessica and John. Jessica is happy they don't have the express passes, so they don't have to stress about it this time. Good on you, Jessica. That's the spirit. The Country Singers finish 9th, and here we go, the final 2 teams, the YouTubers and the Twinnies. Joey is the one to go up, but it's not looking good for the Twinnies, as Joey and Megan are basically done by the time the Twinnies are going up. And it's all over. The Twinnies are the first team to be eliminated. I'm kind of surprised and I'm kind of not. I kind of expected a non-elimination leg just because it's the first leg, but then again it's the All-Star season, so these teams have been in this position before, so it only makes sense to eliminate them. On next week's episode, the Country Singers are back to their old tricks as we see them flirting with Jet and Cord. Mallory forgets her bag at a location and they can't decide what to do. With episode 1 wrapped up now, my first impressions is that Brennan and Rachel are a bit more annoying than usual, and you know, they never bugged me before, since I'm a huge Big Brother fan, but they were way too joyful, which just felt fake. Jet and Cord continue to be one of the strongest teams to have never won the Amazing Race, and they obviously showed that in today's episode. And lastly, as much as I want them to make it far, I think Mark and Mallory are going to have some troubles early on working together, and I don't think they're going to last very long. Well, that wraps it up. That's my recap on the first episode of Season 24 of The Amazing Race, which is also known as the All-Star Season. I hope you enjoyed this recap. Feel free to comment below on what you thought of the episode. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe. I'll have another episode recap just for you.